Hello everybody. So this video is entitled Disastrous Week. Should we take the summer off? And of course, I have a big time difference with the USA, and I can't really follow the hour by hour news because I'm sleeping. But when I wake up, I always get the bad news, and I see the bad news, and this is what I saw. Of course, indices way down on Friday. But if you zoom out and look at the week, it looks way more bleak. The market just puked anything that made sense and essentially reverted back to its old self of, rent-seeking type company, bidding up tobacco, bidding up oil stocks, bidding up sugary water, bidding up rent-seeking companies like Apple, for example, who literally have very little growth. I mean, they just raise their prices and they do buybacks, right? It's funny, Microsoft is up too. Well, Microsoft is another ultimate rent seekers, and you have companies who are literally the future, who could literally be the most important companies in the future, right? I'm thinking about Nvidia, I'm thinking about Tesla, I'm thinking more and more about Micron. If memory is as important as it is to become, if we are indeed to have every single device in the world have to remember conversations, every robot in the world will have to remember what has gone on, what is going on. The need for memory could be very much bottleneck, could be very high. And to me, Micron could be one of these leading companies in the future at this point. Again, still need to do my full analysis. I'll likely do that when I get back to the US. But the point is the market is just trading on vibes, I guess. I have no idea what the market is trading on. Right, case in point is Tesla. Now, I don't cover Tesla much on this channel, but Tesla has robotaxi now, right? It's the biggest catalyst we were waiting for. And this stock hasn't done anything since 1010. How many stocks have not done anything since 1010? Essentially, Nvidia has not done anything since 1010. Give another 2 months of trading. If Nvidia hasn't moved, you have AI who has gotten exponentially better, and you have Nvidia who's trading the same. The market is crazy, and this has lasted far too long. The market is only responding to macro news and trading on macro news, and we don't know which macro news to believe. I'm trying to research what's going on in the Middle East really quickly, having a brief conversation with AI. Even AI is confused about this. Even AI. It's like one of my understanding of this conflict is that there's two entities in Iran, and they say different things. There's like two entities, but it's my limited understanding because I don't want to understand it. I really don't want to understand that. This is not my topic. I could not be less interested by what is happening in the Middle East. I just want it to be over. Let's move on from this. But the re-escalation just goes on, and these are endless conflicts. Is it going to last 10 years? If it's going to last 10 years, well, maybe it's a good idea for countries in the Gulf to build those pipelines, accelerate those pipelines, and get the oil the other way out, right? I know Saudi Arabia has a big pipeline. They're trying to build another pipeline in the UAE. That's it. Let's just do that. I'm not interested in that topic. I'm interested in the future. I'm interested in the market. I'm interested in stocks that make sense. I'm interested in growth and innovation. And we haven't had a chance to focus on this since October 10. How many gray swans are we going to keep having? Investing in the 2020s is not for the faint of heart. We are discouraging an entire generation of would-be investors are being discouraged by all of this. And this is why I believe maybe folks who only do Bitcoin have a point. Maybe folks who only buy Bitcoin have a point. A lot of a younger generation looking at crypto. Maybe cryptos are more stable. Maybe Dogecoin is more stable, folks. If you look at Dogecoin, maybe Dogecoin is more stable than some of these AI names and some of these names who are just subjected to the nonsense of Mr. Market. Market is just nonsense. So anyways, oil is back up 20%. So 2 weeks ago, everything was great. The world was hopeful. We were going to move on towards peace. Memorandum of Understanding. Everybody was happy 2 weeks ago. And now we're back full on, way worse than the way it was. It's just brutal. It's just been brutal. And I understand why people just want to stay away from this, for mental health, for sanity, because the volatility is just insane, and you can't really predict where the volatility is headed. Sometimes I see bad news, like genuinely bad news, the stocks go up. Like sometimes you can have bad news and the stocks go up. Anyways, so how do you bet on volatility? Well, one way to bet on volatility, in my view, is to own the brokers. Now you know that I like Hyperliquid. I think Hyperliquid. If you go on the website of Hyperliquid. Can't remember the name of it. It's just Hyperliquid Analytics, and if you look at all of their analytics, okay, there's not a lot of trades in the summer, but we don't really have the full data just yet. But my guess is that Hyperliquid is going to benefit, and all of the fees, so the revenue of Hyperliquid, all of the fees earned by Hyperliquid go towards burning back the token. 99%, actually, not all. 99% goes towards turning back the token. Right? This is somewhat similar to Apple stock. Apple stock, most of the profits go back towards the buyback. That's why I like something like Hyperliquid, where all of the trading, all of the volatility, all of the fees earned, buy back the token, right? So it's designed to rise, right? At least that's what I think. No financial advice ever on this channel, of course. Selling puts, cash secure puts, right? Margin secure. Well, I wouldn't even do that right now, because I have no idea how long and how irrational this market is going to be. You may be selling puts thinking things are gonna get better. I don't know, 2 months from now. Let's say you sell puts two months out. But we don't know. Like how many more dark gray swans? How many more dark gray swans are we gonna have? So this is a market where, in my view, for me, I talked just about me. The only prescription is just turn off the app. Turn off the app. But how long have we had to turn off the app? Right? How many more opportunities do we get to buy the dip? Buy the dip. So many opportunities to buy the dip. So anyways, briefly, Bitcoin's holding up pretty well through this. I'm actually very happy to see that on Bitcoin, and it's crazy to believe that Bitcoin is now stable, and now it's AI who's selling off. So imagine a few weeks ago, people who were saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's dead. Bitcoin's going to 40, and Bitcoin's going to 30,000, and maybe they rotate into Micron and they rotate into AI because they do fundamental analysis." Let's say you do fundamental analysis and you buy Micron at $1,200 because you see that from a fundamental standpoint, the PE is a 5.5. Forward P is like maybe a 6 when it was $1,200, and you're like, okay, forward P of 6 for a company who's growing so fast, just not that bad of a price. And then what you see is Micron just dumped 30% out of the blue. Look at a stock like Micron, it just dumped 30% out of the blue. So, and people are trading the charts, right? People are doing their ABC corrections, and they're doing all of the technical analysis, and they're trading based on the charts, which looks much more like a casino. And my style of investing is I look at a stock and I want to trade the stock based on the fundamentals. So when I look at Micron at 848, I get an EV over GP over RG, right? Enterprise value over gross profit over revenue growth of 0.13. And I'm being pessimistic about my forward revenue growth number at 111%. Could be much more than that. I'm seeing a company that prints a bunch of cash. I'm seeing a company, I was talking with an AI, they could be making between 200 and 250 billion, think about that, up to $250 billion worth of profit next 12 months is what Micron could be making. It's trading at 900 billion. So what does that mean from a PE standpoint? We're at a 4. Could this market send Micron to a PE of 3? Absolutely, because the market's not looking at the fundamentals. It's not looking at the fundamentals. So it's buying oil right now. The market's buying oil. The market's buying the old world. The market is buying, sugary water and other things like that. Or Costco being overvalued. Or Philip Morris. It makes very, very little sense that the past gets rewarded when there is high macro uncertainty. The past gets rewarded because people are like, this is the past. The past is good, I suppose, or this is the way we've always done it. Wall Street, you have a lot of very old folks on Wall Street who are just stuck in their ways. And they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna rotate into Philip Morris because it's a consumer defensive. So to me, I see so many of these names that have been in the red last week. I see them as extremely undervalued. So many of them. But am I buying right now? No, I'm not buying. Even at 850, I don't trust this market. I don't trust a market where you can have a tweet about, I don't know, tariff on the EU because of Greenland or something, and you have one tweet and the market dumps 10%. I do not trust this market right now. And liquidity is too low in the summer. People are off on vacation in the summer. Assets can't catch the bid. Liquidity is low. So let's wait until the midterm election. At least I'm going to do more buys until the midterm election. Or I'm going to hope for the midterm election. Let's hope for that. Let's hope for a better week. But this has been very, very much nonsensical, and I do understand why people move away from stock picking and they just buy the S&P 500 and they forget about it. And sometimes you could be better off doing that, especially in this type of market. Lost decade. This is a lost decade. Let's stay strong. Anyways, this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.